what did Jesus actually mean by let the dead bury the dead? I'll tell you what. Now, in Matthew chapter 8, there was a would-be disciple that told Jesus, hey, I'm willing to follow you wherever you go, right? But let me go bury my dad first. And Jesus was like, nah, you need to go let the dead bury the dead, right? To him about his own father, okay? What is that telling you? Obviously, a dead person can't bury a dead person. We're talking about people that are spiritually dead, meaning that they don't understand the nature of death, and they would rather go and bury a dead corpse or a dead body or an empty avatar or empty shell than to be spiritually awakened or to follow the actual Christ. So if you're just tuning in, we have discussed on this page that there will be a gravitational singularity event or a black sun event because there is a moon machine that has been discovered by me. Okay, I was given a diagram as well as the specs as to how this particular machine works, and basically it is a plasma emitting machine that pretty much covers all light photon energy on planet Earth with a plasma based matter. It also generates a harmonics resonance that holds all matter together. So basically it is covering everything with matter, and it's also holding all matter together with a sound-based frequency harmonics resonance. This particular machine is housed in the moon as a reincarnation machine. The most important part of you is the soul, or what is called the Ba. In Egyptian mythology, we have determined the difference between the Ka and the Ba is the Ka is the actual spirit or the breath that animates the body, and the Ba is the actual soul. What we are experiencing is the shell or the outer layer of you is a representation of hell, you being encased in darkness, or the Sheol, basically, which is the shell for the soul, is what the outer layer of your body is. And when you pass away, okay, you give up your spirit, your actual frequency leaves the body. Your Ba leaves this shell. So what are you actually burying? Dead matter. So people are actually having funerals and spending thousands of dollars to mourn over a shell that is not actually the true essence of who that individual was. And yes, I do understand the emotional attachment that you have to different souls. However, you'd be better served creating an altar to help guide your loved ones through the afterlife, because everybody that dies and their souls leave their body don't necessarily always go to heaven like people say, or know how to get there, or know how to navigate the afterlife, which we will discuss that in another video, because I believe that needs to be strongly unpacked to understand that everybody doesn't go to heaven and everybody doesn't go either to heaven or hell. You are actually a soul, and when you leave this body, you can either go through that moon machine, which is a reincarnation gate, as people say they see the light after they die, and you can go through one of those lights and go through the time machine in the moon to be reincarnated into a body, or you wander around as a lost soul, sometimes not even knowing that you are dead. Sorry, it's raining really hard and I'm trapped under a pavilion, so I'm like, I might as well record a video, but I have to move out of the way of this rain because, as you can see, it is pouring. Okay, and I'm still trying to bring you content. So if you know that there's going to be a gravitational singularity event that's going to destroy all matter, and that what actually matters is the soul, and the kingdom of God is within you, which is your soul or your light body that is the connection to the kingdom of heaven, then why worry so much about a dead body? Why worry about material matter, okay, that no longer houses the soul of the person, and do these extreme ceremonies to basically kind of memorialize the shell of a person? Like, I don't believe that's something that we should be doing. You know, my mom always said that she never attends funerals, and all the funerals I attended and she didn't go, I always felt something was a little bit freeing about that idea. Maybe I shouldn't go. They should be following more of what Christ is speaking, which is let the dead bury the dead, and follow Christ. You should be seeking the light. You should be seeking to escape this reality of a skin suit. You should be seeking connecting with your inner or your inner kingdom of God versus worrying about burying a dead person. If you truly believe that there's going to be a gravitational singularity event that frees us, and that's going to bring us closer to the kingdom of God or the kingdom of heaven, which is within you, then you would not be trying to follow behind dead people or worry so much about someone who has physically passed on. You would be trying to get to that person in the next life that we're going to exist in. You will be trying to learn the truth. This means that death in and of itself is just an illusion, okay? So us mourning and worrying about death is of no consequence. You should be worrying more about taking up your cross or your Christ, or seeking the truth or seeking enlightenment daily versus you mourning behind someone that is dead. The ultimate goal is for you to reconnect with those souls and those spirits that you have lost, and for you to get closer to the kingdom of God, which is learning the truth, which is deciphering these messages, which is following the light. And you cannot do that as long as you are in the darkness mourning over a dead body. Those that are spiritually dead do not have light within them. They do not understand that you need to be following Christ. And instead, they're mourning and crying and hooping and hollering over a person that is no longer within the shell. This is what it means to let the dead bury the dead. As far as I'm concerned, from 2020 all the way up to the present moment, as a matter of fact, in the past week, I have lost 2 relatives, okay? Death has been coming extremely frequent. And after going to plenty of funerals and going through this process over and over and over again. I'm like, bro, this is like a broken record. This is like, what are we actually doing here? I understand the significance of mourning. However, I no longer subscribe to the idea that we need to be mourning over the dead avatar. I actually subscribe to the idea that we need to be connecting with those souls in the spirit, and we need to be connecting with the Christ light energy, which is enlightenment, to understand what is to come. And that is more important than me going to a funeral, crying over a dead plasma based body that no longer houses the actual spirit or soul or body of that person that I once loved. As a matter of fact, because there is a moon machine that does reincarnation, or basically time jumping, and you can be born again into a new body, you've had plenty of shells or plenty of bodies that are probably buried in other places on the planet, and you don't have those family members running over there in order to mourn that shell over there because it no longer exists. It's just a fraction of who you once were. It is not the essence of who you are, your body, your soul, your light body, which is where the kingdom of God actually is. If the shell or the sheol of the body, or the outer shell of the body, is actually hell, and the light body actually represents the kingdom of God, or the kingdom of God being within you, then that means when Jesus was discussing having the keys to death and hell, he was talking about the outward shell or the body, and having the keys to unlock, or basically get rid of this shell, which is the keys to help us escape this particular hell that we are trapped in, or this matter that we encase in physical matter. So you should not be worried about the shell or the sheol of the body more so than worried about the kingdom of God that is within you. That is what it means by having the keys to death and hell. The two witnesses of Revelations, or these two Christ figures, are the ones that's going to free us from the physical matter. And you should be worried about that more than you're worried about burying a dead body, because Jesus, or the Christ, has the keys to death and hell. As you can see from this diagram that I created, the keys to death and hell, or these particular keys that's going to unlock the reality from the 3D to the 5D, is going to be this interaction or engagement between the two witnesses, which is actually represented as sexual intercourse, which is going to birth the man-child mentioned in Revelation 12. And this is actually what's going to bring on this Black Sun event, which means that we are going to escape physical matter, which means that we are going to escape hell. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? Once the two witnesses come together and they give birth to the man-child, the woman mentioned in Revelation 12 having the keys to the moon machine, meaning that she has a crown of 12 stars, which represent the zodiac. It also says that she has the moon beneath her feet, which means that by giving birth to this man-child mentioned in Revelation 12, she will destroy the moon machine, in essence destroying all matter. So these two witnesses in Revelation 11 are actually the keys to death and hell. They are the representation of this chart that I put together, of these two individuals coming together to give birth to a son that is to rule the nations with a rod of iron. These two Christ figures are the ones that has the keys to death and hell, because they will actually shut down the moon machine, which creates matter, to destroy matter, which will in essence free our souls, or our light bodies, which is the kingdom of God that is within you. Until next time, keep shining bright. Peace, love, and light. See, as soon as I stopped and finished, and I had to sit here actually for a minute to remember what it was that I had to speak on. And as soon as I did that, the rain lightened up enough for me to go on about my business. So thank you guys for tuning in. Later.